This is my first official talk about my new book, Republic of Imagination, and there is no other place and no other gathering that I think would be so relevant to what we call the Republic of Imagination. I mean, a library is a living, tangible definition of what a Republic of Imagination is all about. The whole point about libraries, the whole point about these portable worlds is that you go into there and the shelves have no prejudice, no bias. Everyone, they transcend space and they transcend time. They transcend nationality, religion, ethnicity, gender, class, and race. James Baldwin, who talks about how frightened he was of ever going into the New York Public Library because at that time he didn't know that a black boy like him would be allowed to enter there. But he said that he read every single book in his in his local library. And he says that you read something which you thought only happened to you, and you discover it happened 100 years ago to Dostoevsky. This is a very great liberation for the suffering, struggling person who always thinks that he's alone. This is why art is important. Art would not be important if life was not important, and life is important. I think that this is the best answer to those today who say that imagination and thought are not relevant to our lives. Those who claim that our public schools do not need to have music and art and fiction in their curriculum, that we are creating students who are career ready. What the heck does that even mean? Aren't you librarians? Aren't teachers? Aren't museum curators career ready? How could in a democracy you cut funding for your libraries and from your museums and still claim to be the descendants in thought, in mind, and in imagination of George Washington, of Jefferson, of Madison, Frederick Douglass, or Elizabeth Cady Stanton? Each of these men and women who changed this country, changed it through thought, through imagining something that had not existed before, and actualizing it. George Washington, a soldier, wanted to create a national university in the capital because Washington, D.C., as the capital of the largest democracy in the world, can not only represent military might or political power, it must represent a diverse culture that is linked to itself and to the world through imagination and thought. This was the real legacy. And if we go to the libraries and check out books on these guys, and not listen to people who tell us this mumbo-jumbo about what the founders are and about the Second Amendment and this and that, you will learn something new. If America wants to remain a great nation, then where it starts and where it ends is with its history and its culture.